is a success because we've built it on the concept of spreading internationally, getting involved more people from different parts of the world, and then stressing on education. I mean, these two aspects are very important. And so education probably is very well highlighted this year, because we organized a masterclass in geriatric oncology, which is in its fourth edition for 2017, which is held in Venice, very close to Venice, in Treviso. Last year we had, last July, we had 35 students, and the second part of the masterclass takes place during the conference. So all the students, all these 35 young oncologists and geriatricians are attending the conference and report also on their progress since last July, and report also on their research projects for the future. So that's important for us. We are able to mentor them and to help them in defining what will be the next steps where they work. Oh, that's an important part. And we launched last year the concept of trying to have a music band together. So that's the second time that we do it. And that was a great pleasure to have this music sharing with one Australian oncologist, one geriatrician from US, and another pianist from Belgium, and myself. But that's something which is always very positive in terms of exchanges and cultural aspects. So that's very positive. We had just a debate on the development of clinical research specifically for the elderly population with cancer. And we held this debate with representatives from patients advocacy, with pharma representatives, with people representing also different specialties, medical oncology, as well as pharmacoeconomy and supportive cares. And all that was across the Atlantic as well, because we had people from US and from Europe involved in this field. And so all that was quite important to act that as a society, the International Society of Geriatric Oncology is really willing to not to make a revolution, because it's not, we do not need violence like that, but we need to learn how to better collaborate, to move progressively and to anticipate what we are going to face in the next years, which is this epidemics of cancer in the elderly population with a large volume. Yes, exactly. He is right, and certainly that's something which is faced by Western countries as well as developing countries. But for the clinical research aspect, you have cooperative groups which have been working for almost 2 decades on it, and we see that it's shaping up progressively and that we have more and more specific programs. It's sometimes limited, but since 10 years, because of political commitments, as in France with the Plan Cancer, we can observe some changes. Instead of having 500 elderly patients enrolled in trials in France, we reach now more than 2,000 or 3,000. So the numbers have changed greatly. So the philosophy, the way people analyze the situation is changing. And so that's good for the landscape, and that's good for the patients. Yes, it's probably one of the field in which it's very striking to see that for the keynote trial, for example, that Loïc Mouret presented this morning in the updates in medical oncology, we see that almost 30% of the population was enrolled at an age above 70. And reaching 92 or 93, which is really very unusual compared with the classical picture of the population enrolled in clinical trials. So I mean, things are changing. The landscape is moving. I'm very positive with this view, and I'm convinced that we cannot stay on the same definitions as before, and that's very encouraging.